Hello folks, and welcome back to Motorcycle Masterclass. I've had a few people asking me about overtaking, so I thought I'd go out and do a few for you and show you how to plan for them, how to set them up, and how to get them done quickly and safely. Oh yeah, in case you hadn't guessed, I've got a rear-facing camera. Before we commit ourselves to overtaking anything, we must always clear any possibility of near-side danger. So on the way up to this blind left-hand bend, I move up to a position where I can get the near-side view on the car ahead of me. Although I can see it's clear, I don't want to go solely on a near-side view, so I move up from a following position to an overtaking position and extend the off-side view enough that I can move out to lane 2 and start the overtake. The extended view allows me to not only take the first car, but to see that it's clear enough to overtake a second car. We've now got an oncoming vehicle, so having cleared the second car, I can just gently move back into lane 1 and then match my speed to the traffic. Let's have a look at another one then. These vehicles are doing 50 and I'm looking to overtake them off the left-hand bend. I clear up the near side danger and my position gives me a good view down the offside of not only the oncoming car, but a stationary vehicle that's parked up in one of the forest gates at the 1 o'clock position, but he's set well back off the road, so I'm happy to come out to the offside lane and start the overtake. We're approaching a completely blind left-hand bend though with no view, so midway between the bike and the 4x4, I hold this position in perfect safety with somewhere to go if anything comes. By holding the position, I extend my view round the blind bend and I can carry on the overtake then past the 4x4 and then bring the bike back into lane 1. It's absolutely vital that you check your mirrors regularly so that you know exactly what's going on behind you at all times. Even like this at the speed limit, you may well be the one that's being overtaken. You can see that the driver of the white car does a fast overtake, there's oncoming traffic, and he has to brake hard and force his way back into the line of vehicles that he's just overtaken. To avoid being caught up in a situation like that, remember that rear observation is as important as what's going on ahead of you. I didn't want to push a bad position with this overtake and end up trying to force my way into a small gap further up the queue. Once I've moved to the offside, I can see that I can safely overtake 2 vehicles and then there's a reasonable gap. After that, the cars are quite bunched up. It will take me time to come back in and I might come into conflict with oncoming vehicles. I've rolled the power down and midway along that gap brought the bike back into lane 1. As you can see, there is now oncoming traffic, so it was a good decision and a nice clean overtake. You've probably heard me talking before about accelerating away from the source of potential danger to put some gap between you and following traffic. I've just come out of a 40 limit and ahead of me the traffic's slowing right down to turn left at a junction. The following traffic's catching me up and thanks to the rear camera I can show you putting that gap into action. Here's an overtake on a cyclist. We're approaching a left-hand bend, so this position extends my view between the cyclist and the car all the way up to the bend. I've got enough view to safely move out with the car, extending that near side view all the time. When the car returns to his own side of the road, I swap from near side to the offside view and I've still got a good view of the road ahead to see what's coming next. I've got no doubt that you'll have heard me use the expression slow in and fast out. We can greatly improve our safety by timing our arrival at various hazards like this road junction. There is traffic coming down behind me, so I want to get across the road as quickly as possible without stopping. You can see that my position pushes the oncoming car nicely away from me, and the timing's perfect that I can just engage first gear and go straight across the road as soon as it's cleared. You can use all your observational skills for every situation, even something as simple as going into the garage for fuel. You'll see that on the way down towards the garage, I get a good view over a low hedge, which shows me the whole of the forecourt area, so before I get anywhere near it, I already know which pumps are available, the state of the floor, which pump I'm going to go to, and exactly where I'm going to park. This steady and controlled approach down to the roundabout slows down any following traffic and gives me lots of time to let the silver car clear, and then I don't have to stop. Sometimes the steadying approach works the other way round, and on this occasion it gives me plenty of time to see the car coming from my right and to make the decision to get into the roundabout and accelerate away from him before he's anywhere near me. So I'd just like you to do your little demonstration now of roll off from 60 miles an hour into a limit. I've had a few people asking questions about this. I have got some following traffic, but it's a little way back, so it probably won't apply. So as we come off this left-hand bend, just after it is a 40 limit. So we're positioned out towards the crown of the road at the speed limit. And as we come off the bend, there's the 40 limit. So let's just roll off. No need to brake, not changing down through the gearbox. When I'm at speed, I can just pick up the drive, give the bike a couple of seconds to settle and take a lower gear. So we're in 5th gear at 40 and the bike is more than happy. No braking, just roll off. Looking to come in at 40. There we go, spot on. Pick up the drive. Still in top gear actually. It's, if I need a lower gear, and take a lower gear. I haven't slowed the bike down on the brakes or the clutch, just done an acceleration sense. So a little bit of gentle braking. Let's not race in too fast. Watch the vehicle behind me. Anticipating the lights changing, there we go. We slowed our friend down. He was fairly close behind us, but we slowed him down quite nicely. Didn't need to stop. And because we didn't need to stop, we're quick away from him. So I just put the signal on now. Time our arrival at the roundabout after the golf. And I want lane 2, so straight to 2. Straight to speed and relax the engine. So looking way into the distance, and I can see that the traffic lights are at red. In the meantime, there's a pedestrian crossing. There's nobody at the crossing, so I'm looking to try and time my arrival at the traffic lights for when the lights change. So I'm just going to roll off from way back, just let the speed run down. There's no point taking another gear at the moment. We're not going anywhere for a second or two, and I don't know what gear I want. Now I do. So I can just come down to 1st gear. Just going to move out away from the cyclist. Change gear before or after going through the lights themselves. I'm just going to relax the power down a little bit just to see what the driver of this Range Rover is doing here. I'm not sure if they're going in or coming out, so we'll make the decision for them that we're going through. As the guy on the bike crashed the crossing, is it about to change? So So just roll the speed down, all done on acceleration sense, no need for me to brake. And I can just move out, give him a good wide berth, equalise the danger between the two vehicles here. Wasn't in a position there to time it so that we missed each other completely, but plenty of room. So I've got following traffic, a very sharp right hand bend here, so let's control them down a little bit. I'm just going to roll the speed off, no need to brake, and you can see that I've controlled him down. He's got a bit closer to me, realised that I've slowed down, so he's slowed down as well. As we leave, I can just put a little bit of gap between us, come up to the junction. It's only a giveaway a line up here, so probably won't have to stop, so let's just hang back a bit. Yep, there we go. So straight out, straight to 40. You can see that he's nowhere near us. When I'm at 40, you can just rest the engine. Okay, so looking ahead then, small line of cars coming in, and I can see that the end of the BUA is just coming up. And again, let's do a little demonstration then. 5th gear, 40 miles an hour. Is it responsive? 60 in a couple of seconds, and as you can see from the rear-facing camera, that's left a good safety margin between myself and the vehicles behind. Speed down a bit. Everything in front of me is quite bunched up, but they've now slowed down a little bit, so if there is the opportunity to overtake, we'll be doing it. We've got a junction down here to where the Reptillery is, so that's not a particularly brilliant place to look for the overtake at the moment. When we come off the left-hander up here, we'll get a nice early view and see what comes after that. But we're down below 50 miles an hour now. So these vehicles are controlling our speed. If there is the chance to go, then we'll have a look at it. So a nice near side view, which I can just alter my speed. I can hold that view there up the near side just by a little bit of alteration on speed. Now I've lost that view, so I'm just going to drop back, start to move in now. There's road bears to the right. There's a little bit of clear road there. A couple of there's a car and a lorry, and then there's a nice clear bit of road. There's a car way off coming down, but I can certainly do one here once this little line of cars is cleared. So I can seal down the near side, clear the near side danger. You just move to the offside lane, come past, and just gently roll off, and then I can go again. I can look at I'm looking at taking 2 here. So yeah, it's absolutely no problem at all. So just gently back into the near side lane. Nice neat overtakes. I always try and do my overtakes so that people don't end up sitting in their car waving their fist at you, and hopefully keeping our reputation a bit intact. So this one's slowing down to 45, so a good place to overtake. Right hand bend coming up. Let's get up and have a look then. Let's move up from overtaking to following. We can clear the near side. I can see the near side verge all the way along. Any good? No, unfortunately not. So all I need to do is roll off. I don't need to brake, and that's the thing. Following position up to overtaking position. The overtaking position is one where if it's on, away we go. If it's not on, you can just roll off, no need to brake, and just drop back again to a following position. So I can do it again here. I can just start to bring the bike up. I can see there is a gap in the oncoming traffic, but I don't think it's going to be big enough to do this overtake. And also we've got these get back in arrows coming up and the chevron area in the middle of the road. But if I come up to an overtaking position anyway, if it's not on, I roll off and just drop back to following. No need to brake, all just done on acceleration sense, perfect safety. And we can just tuck up to the near side. There's a drain cover there, so we can just move it around the drain. Just bring the vehicle out to the crown now. Absolutely dead straight piece of road. The Romans may well have been here at some point. I just see the vehicles braking, lots of signs coming up, and I think where they're braking there's a junction I know off to the offside, which is probably why they're braking. So we've got no following traffic. And the last thing I saw was that vehicle braking as he went around the corner, so possibly he's turning off into the junction. I'm looking over the hedge, scanning across the 1-2 o'clock area, see if I can pick up on anything coming down. So we've got this oncoming vehicle now. No following traffic. And again, I'm going to say it, no need to brake. I'm just going to let speed run down. I want second gear, I'm in 6th. Just looking across to the right, can't see anything coming up towards the junction at all. So 5, 4, 3, 2. Pick up the drive. And we can just accelerate away. Get my gear change done before going over the cattle grid. Watching the vehicle on the left here coming out of the car park, so we just move away to the crowd, make sure he's seen us. Straight to 40 miles an hour, straighten this bend out, straight to the entry point for the next left-hander. And sadly folks, it's that time again. For those of you who've been watching both of our channels, you'll know that I've been doing some riding with Neil from the Back2TheBike channel, who wants to polish his riding up a bit with a view to taking his Institute of Advanced Motorcycling test. We've recently had a couple of days riding together in Wiltshire, and along with some other people, he's been picking my brains on overtaking and acceleration sense, which is what I've tried to cover for you and him in this video. I hope you found it useful. Until next time, stay safe and enjoy your bike.